In this video, I'm going to explain why men are feeling stuck in their jobs and how they need to plan their escape from corporate by planning their career quite effectively. And if you feel stuck, you feel underpaid, you're not alone. We're going to go through 3 or 4 examples right now. You don't have to stay in being in a position where you feel quite stuck. I help men escape toxic jobs, build high income careers with real options. This isn't a dream, this is a strategy. And I show you how to do this after 10 years at top companies like Goldman and Morgan Stanley. And I have career coaching with a link in description if you want to get started with that. Let's start with this guy's story.
People realize how dangerous it is to hate your job, because if you hate it, that is 1/3 of your life that you will spend not enjoying your actual life, which also means you're going to spend the rest of your waking hours, however many that might be, drained physically, mentally, emotionally from having to do something for 8 to 10 hours that you just can't stand doing. So that's 2/3 of your life, and all your waking hours, except for a day and a half on the weekend, spent not enjoying life. When you lay it out like that, is it really surprising that people are having mental health issues, that people have addiction problems? No, actually, to me, it kind of makes sense. There's one tip I can give anyone, especially young people out there: find a way to make a living where you don't hate your life during that process. You don't have to enjoy all of it. You don't have to love it, but at least it doesn't make you hate yourself for 8 to 10 hours a day, every day. For me, that meant no job. I'm not meant to work a job. I refuse to work a job ever again. For other people, it means trying other industries and learning different skills until you come across something that really speaks to you.
Now, this guy's making a great point. If you're at work, whatever you do, even if you're self-employed, you're going to be doing it for 1/3 or more of your life. You should find something that works well for you and you can plan for the future. What he's mentioning here about addictions is quite normal, particularly in intense corporate environments where I've worked. You see people who get addicted to caffeine, multiple coffees a day, alcohol on the weekends and evenings, smoking, other mental health medication. People are always going through a cocktail of different substances, right? Caffeine to get through the work week, alcohol to get through the weekend, sometimes smoking or other substances, sometimes people on mental health medication. So you should think about what is your long-term goal and how you can maintain achieving those long-term goals rather than getting caught up in some of these toxic dynamics. It's quite important for you to think about that. But I understand why men feel stuck, and I think a lot of that is they don't have direction. They're just like, I'm going through the motions of this job. I need some bit more variety, a bit more excitement in life, a bit more something to aim towards. And that's what I teach partly throughout my coaching. Is like, oh, what is the actual goal here? What do you want to achieve, right? And let's listen to this guy vent a bit here.
This shit is so fucking annoying, man. Constantly doing the same shit every fucking day. Every day, every week, it's the same shit. Same ass people, same ass routine. I'm so tired of this shit, man.
So he's making good points too. Like I said, when you pick a job, you want a level of variety and you want to be efficient too, right? That's what I would always look for when it comes to a job. A variety of skills you're developing, a variety of work, but a way where you have control over it, autonomy over it, and you can do it efficiently. You don't want to be micromanaged by a really annoying manager. So many people, they want an easy job, but then they get bored of it. This is what I mean. You need to find something you have a deep interest in that you can throw yourself into, and it gives you freedom that you're seeking, right? Financial freedom after 3, 5 or slightly more years in that corporate job. That's why you got to plan ahead. You can't just simply think like some of the examples I covered in a recent video where some female people on TikTok were, some woman on TikTok were saying, oh, they want an easy job. They just want an easy job that just works out well for them and they don't have to think about it or stress over it. Sometimes people are in easy jobs and they get bored. You have to find some work that provides some deep fulfillment. I know we all want to make a lot of money and that's a good thing, but if you're just doing it for the money or you're just doing it because that's what you had available, you're really going to get annoyed with it. You're not going to be able to invest yourself in your daily life. And most people's daily life involves some form of work. Like I say, even if it is self-employment. So it has to be something you really care about. Let's listen to this guy explain it in a bit more detail.
The problem with 9-to-5 jobs isn't the job itself. It's everything that comes with it. You may only work 40 hours a week, but you sacrifice way more than that. First of all, half of your waking hours are either spent preparing to work or commuting to and from work. When it comes time to enjoy the other 4 hours you have every workday, you're kind of too tired to do anything that you'd really like to do, so you settle for something else, like sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. In my opinion, this isn't a good lifestyle. This is just modern day slavery. I don't see how you can describe it any other way, considering everyone is robbed of their time when they're even not actually clocked in and they're only paid pennies. For the life of me, I can't understand why people are okay with this. And by okay, I don't mean that people aren't complaining. People are complaining about it. What I'm saying is no one's doing more than that. No one's saying, you know what? Screw this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to do something else. This isn't 1970 anymore. The cost to start a business is virtually nothing. You don't have to be restricted to these stupid systems and these stupid ideas that don't make sense anymore. Reason number 4 why I hate 9-to-5 jobs is because when I was an aerospace engineer, my daily take-home pay was like $300 if you average it out over 2 weeks. My problem isn't with that actual number. My problem is with how you increase that number or the options available to increase that number. So if I just become an amazing employee and come up with some crazy invention or something that makes the company $100 million a year more in profit somehow by being some sort of genius, I'm not, but let's just say I was, what would I get in return for that? A pat on the back, maybe a little certificate, but you wouldn't see anything other than maybe a slight little raise. As an employee, your pay is not directly tied to the performance of the business. And while yes, little things exist here and there like bonuses or profit sharing, that's not the norm. The only way to make more money as an employee or an engineer is to either one, job hop a bunch and be disloyal to any company that you go to, that you work for, and just try to bump your salary up that way. Or two, you just have to wait a really long time, a couple decades, and hope that the wage increases you get outpace the level of inflation. But guess what? They probably won't. This is my problem with being an engineer and just 9-to-5 employment.
So he's making some fair points here, right? I would say there's a concept that's kind of funny that's mentioned online. Some of you will be aware of it if you use Twitter. It's called the 4-hour life, 4HL for short, right? 4-hour life means when you work at a normal 9-to-5 job, you only have 4 hours each day during the work week, Monday to Friday, free to yourself. So if you think that through, you work for 8 hours, you sleep for 8 hours, then you do your other lifestyle chores, going to the gym, meal prep, to work, coming back from work, you only have 4 hours to yourself each day, right? And explains, it's kind of interesting, right? Like how you only really have 4 hours a day that are free. Like people sometimes say working a job is a bit like slavery, and it's kind of an interesting perspective. I would say you want to work smart and will not work hard. I think he said something like that, right? You learned this the hard way. You don't want to work too hard, overwork yourself, burn out. You want to work smart and focus on strategic projects that are going to benefit you. And I would say time freedom is very important, not just financial freedom. People think about, oh, how much am I saving and investing? I'm going to have $1 million portfolio. Like, how long will it take you to get there? How much time freedom do you want? Like, how highly do you value time versus money, right? Because sometimes, like for me, I do value money, of course, like we all do, but I value time too, to live life at my own pace. So if that came at a cost of some money or some material items, I wouldn't mind that to a certain extent, but it's always a trade-off there. And he's got a good point here about having a side hustle is important. So you're not just stuck with one income, or you're in a situation where some people are where they're working in a corporate job and the older generations are clogging up all the management roles. You have 40-year-old people or older who are in middle management, and then 50 years old in senior management. And then more senior than that, you might have people who are closer to retirement age in super senior management and very roles, and then you can't move forward because all the next levels up, you're gonna have to wait 10-20 years for people to retire to move up. It becomes a bit ridiculous, right? So you have to think about this. And one thing he's got a good point here around, if you have all these innovative ideas, keep it to yourself, because if you're adding a lot of value to a company, you're not going to be paid fairly for it, right? If you come up with an innovative new idea, you're working at Nike, you develop a new technology in terms of sneakers, they're going to take the bulk of the profit, right? Do you want to advise them on all of that, or do you want to keep some of the ideas to yourself? Because you might want to start your own shoe manufacturing company and use some drop shipping just to get it started before you can make big money, right? These are the type of things that just being careful to what extent you overextend yourself at work. Now, what you want to do at work is make your work done more efficiently so you have more free time, right? There's a whole concept of you're a cog in the machine, you're a cog in the corporate machine. Do it as efficiently as possible, and then other time at work networking to increase your profile and visibility at work, or doing work on your side hustle, right? You want to protect your energy and your time and plan ahead for your career. And sometimes you want to be job hopping, because that could be good for yourself to get salary increases rather than waiting for that to occur in your current job.
Don't quit that damn job. I know they got you stressed out. But unless you got something lined up, a plan, or some money saved up, you better not quit that job. It might be one of the worst mistakes you make. I know, I get it, because I feel the same way some days. Boss got you fucked up. Coworkers just aggravating as hell. People getting on your goddamn nerves. But it's in your best interest to keep that job going. Hey, if they stressing you out, go ahead and take a day off. Use the last few hours of your PTO. Tell me you're going to be a little late today. Because I'd rather be late to work than late on my rent. Trust me, I've had those days where it's just a long day. You just get to your car after work and I tell you one thing, you don't want to be out here in this job market just starting from scratch. You seen these videos of people out here putting hundreds of applications in and not getting no calls back? Hell nah. I got an older homie talking about, man, I'm tired of working, tired of paying bills. I think I'm just going to put it in God's hands. I said, and God going to put his hands right on your front door with an eviction notice. Don't quit that damn job.
So he's making some good points here, right? You want to manage your daily stress through having a plan. If you want to have an escape plan from that job, you can do that. Having good, healthy routines to keep your state of mind in a healthy way rather than being stressed out about the job perpetually. Now, there's an interesting article here about a millionaire podcaster, Mel Robbins. I've never heard about it. Sometimes you see these millionaire podcasters and are they glowies? What's going on? How do they really make their money? It's very suspicious. So she agrees that Gen Z shouldn't be labeled as lazy because they're dealing with some difficult circumstances. Let's learn a bit about her perspective here. The world is in chaos. Most 20-somethings had parents that lived in a very predictable, stable economy. They went to a corporate job, they reported to the office, they had a network of friends, and this is not the typical 20-year-old's experience anymore. Gen Z is downtrodden then about their work lives. Only 62% say they're happy at their jobs, so 40% roughly say they're not happy at their job. They have trouble forming connections in the office. Young people are living through economic instability. Only 40% of A-level workers feel positive about their work. The very low figure compared to recent years. Now, this thing is very true. Gen Z are dealing with a lack of stability, a lack of clear path to success, a lack of positivity about the future, given everything going on in the world. These are the ways that I can help you, right? I know how difficult it can be with some of these, and this is why I help through my experience, understanding finance, careers, helping you with career coaching so you can secure a promotion faster, make a lot of more money, progress in your life, land your dream career, get that salary boost through job hopping. This is what I can teach through my coaching. And it brings me on to a particular lesson from my course that I have, again, link in description. You want to own your time, although the company that you're working for will own your time. You can control your time by setting strong boundaries, prioritizing non-negotiable life goals, reviewing your calendar weekly, and ensure each hour at work actually serves your mission. If you feel like you're wasting a lot of time of work, you're getting kind of annoyed with work, you feel stuck in your job, you need to plan your escape or plan a step-by-step process where maybe you move to a new company, get a pay rise, invest that money to a lower cost of living location. All these type of things you need to be planning ahead. You don't want to be at work just there wasting your time at work, giving you more pointless work, more busy work just because you finish work and then give you extra work to do it. You know, phrase reward for hard work is more work. So you want to be careful about how you structure your time and make sure you look after your health and your mental health, your physical health, and do what you need to do to survive for now. These are things I teach within the Career Code course, link in description. And lastly, if you want free tips sent to your mailbox every day, I have 2 emails that are sent on a Monday and a Friday twice a week. So you will get 2 emails a week, tons of helpful free career tips to really help you push forward so you don't get stuck and frustrated like some of the people we've seen here. So what do you guys think? How are you typically as a man who watches my content? It's mainly a male audience. Do you feel stuck in your job? Are you planning your escape? Are you saving yourself? Are you saying screw society? Let me know what you think about this in the comments. 2 recommended videos on your screen right now, and I'll see you next time.